This is going to be video number 50 on your Firearms Defense channel. I'm making this video number 50 specifically for Mr. Lou Stephen Yandek Argo. It's spelled Y-A-N-D-E-K-A-R-G-O. He has a Sabbath Music's channel, and he responded to my videos regarding the SWAT team killing of Mayor Chai Calvo's two Labrador retrievers. He had a friend, Mr. Joseph Buczek, it's spelled B-U-C-Z-E-K, who was killed by the Sarasota, Florida SWAT team several years ago. Now, as I understand it, it took place when a cab driver who was taking Mr. Buczek home noted he was intoxicated and called the police department, and they called the SWAT team. And what the SWAT team did was break into this gentleman's home, and he was passed out in a chair, and the SWAT team surrounded him. Of course, they have full automatic weapons and all that stuff. And one of the SWAT team members tossed a flashbang grenade over by his chair, and when the grenade went off, Mr. Buczek reached for a firearm that he kept there, and the SWAT team promptly killed him. Now, this in and of itself is really, truly bad police work. I mean, that's the first thing you can say about it. And before I get any further into this video, I want to extend my sympathy and my condolences to Mr. Yandek for the homicide of his friend Mr. Buczek. This is truly appalling, and I'm genuinely sorry this happened. So, okay, now I'll get on with the rest of my video here. This, okay, as bad as this was, as bad as the killing of Mayor Chai Calvo's dogs were, and the abuse of him and his wife and his mother-in-law, and the killing of Mr. Buczek, these things are far from unique incidences. If you have access to a computer, hit on the Google search engine and type in SWAT team killings of innocent people. I did that last night. I got 12,700 hits. I couldn't even begin to read them all. There's just too many of them. 12,700 hits for SWAT team killings of innocent people. The drugs that they're supposedly fighting don't do this much damage. I mean, this is appalling. But okay, now, as bad as this is now, and this is bad, now here's the reason all of this happens. And I have to go back to our founding fathers in the beginning of this, of our republic. Our founding fathers, when they created our republic, in their infinite wisdom, they gave us the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms in the Bill of Rights. The reason they gave us our Second Amendment rights specifically and exactly, they understood, and they understood something that very, few people throughout our ages have ever understood, and that's why they were able to create our republic. They understood that governments in all of their forms, be they republics, be they democracies, be they fascist states, be they kingdoms, be they communist states, be they socialism, whatever form of government they be, governments are nothing but the forces of tyranny and evil. Government agents in all of their forms, whether they're politicians, kings, presidents, police, SWAT team, IRS agents, BATF, government agents in all their forms are nothing but an extension of the forces of tyranny and evil. And that's why we have the problem that we do. Now, people think that all of these things can be solved by the election of a different set of politicians. Like right now, a lot of people view the current president that we have, President Obama, they view him as the problem. And they think that if only we can get a Republican in there in 2012, all of our problems are going to be solved and this will go away. Well, it's not. President Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, Senator Harry Pelosi, Senator Harry Reid, Senator Harry Reid, Senator Nancy Pelosi, and I didn't mean to get them confused, Barbara Boxer, the Democrats, and the Republicans too. John McCain, Sarah Palin, Newt Gingrich, all the conservative right-wing Republicans, all of these people represent the forces of tyranny and evil, every last one of them. So, now, the SWAT team and the Homeland Security people and all of these different agencies are nothing but an extension of the forces of tyranny and evil. And the reason we have these things is that we as the citizens put up with them in the name of fighting the war on drugs, which we view as bad, and terrorism, we view terrorism as bad, and we view the predatory crime problem as bad, so we need a police state to fight all of these things. Well, here's the thing now, we absolutely do not need a police state to fight all of these things. All we need to fight these things are armed citizens. 20% of our population needs to carry, have proper training in the use of firearms. And our crime problem and the terrorist problem and all of these things would just go away overnight. They would totally disappear. Like, say you were a predator, you know, and you're going around, your thing is strong-armed robbery. Can you imagine what you'd feel like, you know, if you knew that 20% of the population was armed? You'd find another business. You'd cease this activity. Bank robbers, it's the same thing. If you were a bank robber, you wouldn't dare go in and rob a bank if you knew 20% of the people were carrying. You'd be afraid you'd get shot. You don't want to get involved in this shootout. These terrorists that flew our airplanes into the Twin Towers, they would have never been able to do that if 20% of the passengers would have been armed. They would have just got killed. So that's the real problem. The real problem is not that we haven't extended our police state far enough. The real problem is that we don't have armed citizens, we don't have the right to carry, and we don't have enough people carrying, the ones that have concealed carry. There's not enough of them. There's too many SWAT team members, there's too many police officers, there's too much Homeland Security, too many things like that. So this is the real problem that we have, the real problem. The problem is not that we haven't extended the police state far enough, the problem is that we've extended it too far. Now, I want to close this video out with one last thought here. Our founding fathers in their infinite wisdom created the republic that we enjoy now and that we live under, and they gave us a Second Amendment to secure our rights and our freedoms that we enjoy in this republic. And our Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms does not come from negotiating with politicians and the forces of tyranny and evil and passing different bills and this, that, and the other. Our Second Amendment rights and the freedoms that we enjoy that are secured by our Second Amendment rights come from one place and one place only. And I'm going to close this video out by showing you the one place that they do come from.